Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Monday, December 19th slate of NBA action, man. I'm super excited to dive into it. We do have a pretty decent slate of NBA games on. Pretty solid slate overall. I think it's like 7 or 8 games, something along those lines. So a pretty good amount of games. I mean, and we definitely have some good matchups that are going to be really intense, really fun to watch, really close games. We also have some that should be really high scoring, some that should that has a lot of young talent in it. So I'm super excited about basketball today, man. Should be a great day overall. But before we go ahead and dive into it, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still currently on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We are right around 500 subscribers away at the time of recording this video. So if you guys are new and you guys do want to be part of the first 10,000 here on the channel, we're trying to hit that by New Year's, and if we do, we'll be doing a huge giveaway that you guys will not want to miss. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do, and thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me, so much more than you guys will ever know. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into a quick recap. As of yesterday, we have had 2 winning days in a row. Let's go ahead and start off this week with a bang. So, we'll do a quick recap. For our kill shot play of the day, we did have Nikola Jokic over 48.5 PRAs versus Charlotte. Centers versus Charlotte. That's all you need to know. I would love to know exactly, like, if you put 1 unit on the center versus Charlotte every single game this year, just how profitable you would be, because this is insane. Jokic finished with 40 points, 27 rebounds, and 10 assists. 40 points and 27 rebounds is insane already. But then to top it off by adding 10 assists, making it a triple-double, is just unreal. So we ended up hitting that one. It was a great play overall. And then we had our other video play. We had Al Horford under 21.5 PRAs versus Orlando at -125. Al Horford really just couldn't get things going from a scoring perspective, and despite Jason Tatum being out, he really did struggle yesterday versus that Orlando Magic team. So it ended up working out for us as well. Then we had our added play, the one that held us back from throwing the sunnies on. We had Miles Turner over 8.5 rebounds versus the Knicks, +115. Really solid value. I thought that one was going to hit for sure. Miles Turner finishes right at 8, finishes right on the hook. The game script was there, though. As I had mentioned in the added play, I basically said that with Mitchell Robinson being an inside center, Isaiah Hartenstein being an inside center, Miles Turner is going to spend a lot of time around the rim, and that was true. But I just went for the wrong side. I should have went with Mitchell Robinson's over in rebounds, as opposed to Miles Turner, because Mitchell Robinson was just winning every single one-on-one battle when it comes to the rebounding things. The only time Miles Turner really saw any rebounds was when it was kind of long rebounds or ones that just kind of fell into his hands. He really didn't try for it too much. But, you know, it is what it is. We ended up going 2-1, and then our lean that we had was the Marcus Smart over 12.5 points. Now in cash as well, finishes with 15, but obviously not an official play. But it is a play that I really like. So we ended up going 2-1 on our plays. Hopefully we can make this 3 straight winning days, get on a hot streak again, and start going, because we need it. We absolutely need it. We've been down pretty bad here over the past couple weeks, but today's the day. We're going back again. We're going back to the well. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. So for our King's Kill Shot play of the day, our first official play of the day, we're going Bogdan Bogdanovic. So this is the one on the Hawks. We're taking his under 21.5 points here versus Orlando at -115 odds. I know that the names are very similar. So this is the Bogdanovic that's on Atlanta. We're taking his under 21.5 because, main reason, DeJounte Murray is now listed as questionable. I think that he does end up playing in this game. They had no reports on him that were stating that he was going to be back, and now all of a sudden he's listed as questionable. It's just kind of the perfect storm to get things rolling again against a pretty porous team in Orlando. Not a team that's really been great. I know they're coming off of a pretty big win versus Boston yesterday, but regardless, like overall wise, record wise, the whole 9 yards, they're not necessarily a great basketball team. It's a great way to go ahead and get him reconditioned into this team, and I think it's a pretty good spot. He has been really good. There's no doubt about it. He's hit his over in 3 out of his last 4 games, but he's only played a total of 8 games on the year, and he's a perfect 4-4 on the to this line on the year. That speaks a lot of volume to me. He's exactly 50%. It's a coin flip, but with DeJounte Murray possibly coming back in this game, I like it. And even if DeJounte Murray is out once again, I'm still taking this because in the last 7 games, Orlando, they've allowed the 7th fewest points per game to opposing shooting guards. And not only that, in the last 3 games, Orlando's been a pretty solid defense. They've allowed the 12th fewest points per game to opposing teams and 26th, and they are 26th when it comes to defensive efficiency over the course of the season. But in the last 3 games, that has bumped all the way up to 12th. So they are a much better defensive team here recently. I think it speaks a lot of volume. In Orlando, very, very slow-paced team. Despite having a lot of young players on that team, they're still 21st in pace. They are a very slow-paced team that doesn't allow a lot of points, and their defense has only been getting better. So, with DeJounte Murray possibly coming back, I'm going to be taking a shot in the dark here with it. So that is going to be our first official play of the day, our Kings kill shot play of the day. Bogdanovic under 21.5 points here versus Orlando at -115 odds. Now for our second play of the day, we are taking the Greek Freak over 31.5 points here versus the Pelicans at -105 odds. Now I like this for a couple reasons. First one, let's take a look at this line, shall we? He has not hit this over in 3 straight games. But this number is high, and it's high for a reason. This is going to be a star matchup here of Giannis versus Zion. It should be absolutely electric. New Orleans Pelicans, they do play at the 10th fastest pace in the entire NBA. They are going to speed up this Bucks team, make them play fast, and I think it's a good spot. No Chris Middleton in this game. So no secondary star outside of Drew Holiday, of course. There is no other star there. So it's going to be Drew Holiday, it's going to be Giannis, and then it's going to be a bunch of role players. I think that Giannis does get it done here. And with Chris Middleton out of the lineup, Giannis has hit this over in 4 out of his last 5. So it's a great spot to be taking his over here. And in the last 3 games, the Pelicans, they do allow the 3rd most points per game to opposing teams. So despite over the course of the year, the Pelicans being a good team, lately they really haven't been. And if you take a look at it in the last 3 games, once again, 7th worst defensive efficiency. So not only do they give up a lot of points, but their defense hasn't really been great. I think it's just a really good spot here for an over. Giannis has gone over in 4 straight games here versus the Pelicans. So he's been very good versus the Pelicans from a historical standpoint as well. And Zion, I know that he's a defensive force. There's no question about that, okay? He can block shots. He can jump out of the gym. I get it. But he is only 6'6". He is literally almost a half of a foot shorter than Giannis, and it's going to be very tough for him to be able to stop him. And once he gets past Zion, let's be honest, I'm not putting any money that Jonas Valanciunas can stop him either. So I do think that regardless of who really gets put out there on him, besides maybe Herb Jones, but I feel like they wouldn't really do that. And even if they do, he's only like 6'7", 6'8". So I just think that Giannis has a really big game today, especially with no Chris Middleton. I think it's a good spot to take it. So we are going to be riding with it here for our second official play of the day. Giannis over 31.5 points here versus the Pelicans at -105. Now, for our third and final play of the day, we are going to be taking a rookie. We're taking Jabari Smith Jr. over 20.5 PRAs here versus the San Antonio Spurs at -125 odds. Now, I know that you're probably asking, he doesn't really get a whole lot of assists, so why aren't you just taking the points and rebounds line? And the reason being is because the 20.5 is exactly the same as what it is for his rebounds line, or points and rebounds line, and his PRA line. So the reason I'm taking it is because if he does, just accidentally get an assist or 2, that is only going to be helping us. But I do like this play overall because in the last 7 games, the Spurs have allowed the 3rd most points per game to opposing power forwards and the 3rd most rebounds per game to opposing power forwards. So they have been giving up a ton of points to this position. They've been giving up a ton of rebounds as well. I think it's a really good spot here for the rookie to really get things going. And San Antonio, is dead last in defensive efficiency. They have not been a good defense whatsoever. I think that it is going to be a very fast-paced game as well. I know the over-under is set pretty high for this game, and it's a pretty close spread, so they do expect this to be a close one. In San Antonio, they do allow the most points per game to opposing teams. They give up so many points. They just really don't play a lot of defense. They just kind of try to outscore their opponents. And that doesn't really work right now. So I think that it is a really good spot here to be taking the rookie. Hopefully he can really get things going. So that is going to be our third and final play of the day. Jabari Smith Jr. over 20.5 PRAs here versus the Spurs at -125 odds. Now we do have our consensus play. It is back. Yesterday we just couldn't really agree on a play, so it is what it is. But for our consensus play today, we're staying in the Spurs and the Rockets game. The Rockets are at home. They're currently 4-point favorites here. So from left to right, we do have Brady. Brady's going to be taking the Rockets. Mitch is going to be taking the Rockets. Ryan is taking the Rockets. Seth is taking the Spurs. And personally, for me, I am also going to be taking the Rockets. Hopefully, Jabari Smith Jr. is a main reason as to why this ends up, working out. But our consensus play is going to be the Rockets -4. 4 cappers to 1. So that is going to be our consensus play of the day. Rockets -4. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We're just about there. We're about halfway between 9 and 10K. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Center signing out. Peace.